Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. I'm mostly Darklink, and today what I have for you guys is a little bit different. So we have a whole bunch of different redstone clocks. Now, if you've never used a redstone clock, they are very useful in a lot of different redstone devices. And pretty much what they do is they allow pulses to happen. So we'll go ahead, we'll go over every different type, maybe some different situations you can use them on, and give you guys a overview on what they look like so that way you guys can use them in your own redstone build. As a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, hit that like button. It does help me out and helps me grow my channel and continue to make videos for you guys like this. Alright, now we're going to start off really basic. So we're going to start off with a basic hopper clock. So what we got here is we got two different hoppers facing into each other with a comparator coming out and then a repeater and a signal. We have this lever here, more just so we can turn it on and off. So if we activate it, we unlock the hopper. And what's going on is we have this one single block here going back and forth between the hoppers. And this is allowing a pulse to be sent out. And we can have this connected up to some kind of redstone circuitry, and it would give us a nice consistent pulse. Now the next one, this is going to be a really common clock. It's also probably one of the bigger clocks here. This is going to be one of the most customizable ones. And that is because we can set it to a lot of different times. And it allows us a lot of greater freedom with our redstone builds than a lot of these other ones are going to. But this is, oops, sorry, this is the Etho Hopper Clock. If you don't know who Etho is, he is a Minecraft YouTuber, and he is credited for coming up with this hopper clock here. So what we got, we again have a hopper going into a hopper, but this time we have comparators coming out both ends going into a block. And these blocks are powering redstone that is powering sticky pistons. Now these sticky pistons are sharing a redstone block, and what's going to happen here if we unlock the hoppers is this redstone block is going to move back and forth, pretty much locking each hopper, and it has a certain amount of items that are in the hoppers. It's going to drain out of one and fill up in the other. So right now it's filling up this one. Now that's full, it's going back over here. And what you could do if you want this to be, say, shorter, we take out some of the blocks. Now it's going to go a lot quicker. And then if we want it to be longer, we just put the blocks in. Now this, wherever you have your redstone block, you can have a line coming off. And this would be whatever powers your machine. And you can also have this right here on top of the hoppers instead of next to, if it fits your build better. You would just do the same thing except for the redstone to be here, and then this sticky piston, and then the redstone block would just be going back and forth on top of the hoppers instead of next to. All right, the next set of clocks here is going to require an outside power source to get it started, and that is going to be our basic repeater clocks. Now these are very simple, and the way they work is just we have a repeater going to redstone, and it's just a loop. So we got two different versions here. This is going to be our simplest and most compact one, and then this is going to be a little bit bigger. And pretty much whenever you want to extend the pulse, what you do is you can increase the ticks on the repeater, or if you have all your repeaters at max ticks and you need to increase it even more, you just add more repeaters to the system. I'm going to go ahead and put these all at 2. And the way you get it going is you have to use an outside source. And if you don't do it fast enough, something like this happens where it's just permanently on. And the only way to stop it is to break the redstone. So let's try that again. There we go. So now we got a continuous pulse going all the way around. And we could do the same over here. Now, again, we got a continuous pulse going back and forth. And it will go like this forever until we break the redstone. If we do that, and now it's off. There isn't really any good ways to turn it off other than that. So if you are using these kind of repeater clocks, redstone clocks, that needs to be something you don't need to shut off. All right, the next kind of clock we have is a comparator clock. Now this one is fairly simple. What we got here is a lever on top of a block with a comparator coming out, and we have it in subtract mode. So if you don't know, you can right click on the comparator. It'll turn on the little torch here. And what you do, you just flick it on here. And now we have a continuous pulse coming out of it. And this is great if you just need a rapid fire pulse. Now, if we add a repeater anywhere on this line, what is going to happen is it's going to turn our pulse into a just strong signal. So if we want that pulse, it cannot have any repeaters on the line. Next is a repeater torch clock. So I have two different versions here. First one is rather simple. So we got a lever again on top of a block with a redstone torch. Now the redstone torch is going into this repeater, and it's going around where this repeater is going into this block. And then it's going to be similar to our last one where we flick it on and we get a continuous pulse. As you can see, this pulse isn't anywhere near as fast as that one. We can increase the ticks here to slow it down even more if we want to. Or we can have it set to here, which is the fastest this is going to be going. Now, the next one here, we have a block with a redstone torch, and then another block with a lever on top of it, and then a repeaters coming off of the torch, not the torch, repeaters coming off of the block with the lever, and then our signal is going to be coming out of this redstone line here. Now, this one's going to be, the signal is going to be on until we flip the switch, and then it's going to start pulsing. As you can see here, the torch did burn out. It will turn back on here in a little bit. So this is good if you need something where it's pulsing and then stops and then it pulses again. If you increase the amount of ticks on the repeater here, it will stop the burnout of the torch. But it gives us a slower pulse. But like I said, it will not burn out the torch. There's a couple of uses you can use that for. And then this one here, this one is actually what I use in my flower farm. And this is an observer clock. We got a couple other versions. So this one, we have a dropper facing up into the observer. The observer is facing down into the dropper. And then we got a lever on the observer and a piece of redstone on top of it. If we flick this lever, what that's going to do is it's going to set it. Now we can flick it again. And as you can see, we get a rapid fire pulse. It's similar to the speed of this one, but instead of taking up horizontal room, it takes up vertical. And it's only one block wide. So this one's really nice for that. This one here, we actually need to finish the circuit because the only way to turn this one off is to break the redstone. So what's happening is this observer is looking at this piece of redstone. This redstone is powering this block, and it's just constantly causing a pulse to happen. It's again rapid fire, but there isn't a way to toggle it on and off. So if it's on, you want it on something where you don't have a reason to shut it off unless you can break the redstone. Now this next one is pretty neat. So what we got is a lever that's powering a sticky piston, and we got an observer and another observer. So the observers are both facing each other, and then they're going to have output signals. You can have output signals out either side or both sides if you like. So if we flick it on, so you see we get a pulse coming out both sides. Now, this is a very useful and neat little contraption. So if you need a clock where it's powering two machines, or you got two different pulses needed on two different sides, this is perfect for that. Now, the next set of clocks here, dispenser clocks, these are a little bit different. So these aren't going to be continuous signals or pulses. What's going to be happening here is for the amount of items that we put into these chests here, it's going to constantly send a signal to dispense them out. And it's going to keep doing it until we are out of items here. Now, these are commonly used in things like automatic chicken farms. If you have some kind of trash can, that's what these are going to be used for as well. As well as these are used at the end of a lot of automated farms to get rid of any extras. They are very useful and fairly common clocks. And as you can see, there are several different versions. The only differences between all of these is just how they're laid out. So however your redstone machine is set up, that's how you're going to choose which one you want. So if you need something that's lower to the ground, you're going to use this one. If you need something that's only taking up one wide and the height doesn't matter, this one is perfect for that. Then we got a 2 wide one here, and this one here, it's a little bit more squished, but it does go out a little bit wider. And again, if we fill them out, we'll fill them up. They're all going to work pretty much the same. The only difference is that this one here is going to dispense faster than these other three, but it does take up a lot more room vertical, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of room on the horizontal. And then if you want to know how those are all built, here's a quick little overview here. And this one here is a little bit more complicated. So we got observer facing this way, observer facing this way, comparator coming out of the dispenser, and this piston here is a sticky piston. Now, the next and last set of clocks that I have for you guys today are Minecart Clocks. Now, these are a bit niche and honestly a little weird, but they do have their uses. The only places I've really seen a lot of these are like mob farms, but you can, play around, have a lot of fun with these. So this first one here, we flick this on to power the rails and we push the cart. Every time the cart spins around, we get a nice little pulse. Now, the one thing that is nice about the minecart hopper clocks over other hopper clocks is, as you can see, the redstone signal stays on a little bit longer than it does with any of these other ones. The biggest drawback is how much room this takes up, as well as the noise, because you do have that minecart going around and around and around. Now, the next version, we need to get a minecart here. This one is a little odd. So what we got is 2 torches powering our powered rails here and a detector in the middle. These do need to be redstone torches. If you have these powered rails powered with anything else, it doesn't quite work right. So we put our cart in and it's going back and forth. And for the most part, the line is on, but it does every now and then flicker off. So this is if you need something where the pulse needs to be mostly on, but occasionally go off. That's great for, well, this is great for that. And again, if we switch these torches for any other power source, we do not get this pulse. We just get a continuous signal out. And the only way to stop that one is breaking the minecart. Now this one is very similar, except for we have a normal rail here, and that allows us to not have to have these torches here, and it gives us a bit more of an actual pulse like the other clocks. And of course it doesn't want to work. Come on. There we go. So when it's working right, what's going on is this cart's going over this detector rail. This detector rail powers the powered rail, and we are getting a signal coming out here. And as you saw, if you, for whatever random reason, have it shut off on you too late, you just need to quickly power this power rail and then it'll start working right. This does give us a nice consistent signal, and just like this one, we are getting a longer signal than we would with the other clocks. It's just this one here, the pulse is happening more often than this one here. And that's it. Nice, short, simple little overview for you guys today. Again, I am Mostly Darklink. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, see you.